What's up, guys? It's another midweek market review with Nick. This is the week of September 16th through the 20th, and we're going to hop on the charts and see what happened this week. There's a lot of news, a lot of big events, so let's just get to it and see what's going on. All right, so here we are on the charts where we thrive. This is our home, guys, right here. This is DXY, and we are currently, today is September 18th. This is post about an hour after the rate decision from the Fed, which came out to be another 25-point basis cut, which turned out to give the U.S. dollar a little bit of stimulus against popular belief. But there were a lot of economic factors that went into this, why it's appreciating, and why DXY is in demand right now. So let's just hop over to the economic calendar, and we'll just take it from Monday. So on Monday we had the Australian RBA meeting. That gave us a little bit of volatility. We have economic sentiment coming out of the Germany report for the euro, which came out to be positive, which was good. So we saw a little bit of reaction coming out of the euro. Nothing too major, guys. The biggest thing so far this week is definitely the rate decision from the Fed, which, as we just said, was a 25-point basis cut, as we could see here. This was July 31st, the last time they cut, which was 5 weeks ago. This was the consensus. This is what we expected, and then this is what happened. So 2%, which was good, which up until the Fed decision, we actually were informed that votes had changed. So we weren't sure that the cut was actually going to take place, even though all up until this point, it was all about cut. We knew that it was coming. But then there was a little bit of uncertainty today, maybe just to, shake off speculation. But nonetheless, the cut went through, and, we saw, again, here it is, a little bit of stimulus coming out of the dollar, and, pairs have respected that sentiment as well. So what do we got? That's a good example. We have gold here. This is right at the cut. Price, actually, this should have been a little higher. This would have been right when there. Yeah. So this was, price came up, touched the zone. This was resistance. You see it rejected it for 3 hours in a row, and then the cut came out and boom. Took a huge shift to the downside. So this is, wow, if you measure to the wick, it dropped 250, almost exactly 250 from that one candle. That's incredible. Unreal. Almost a whole 1.67%. Crazy pips on this. So gold dropped from, this was probably the biggest reaction, dropped from 1508 down to 1483. So that's ridiculous. But that was the most. So as we know, with safe haven currencies, they move inverse from the dollar. So if the dollar goes up, that means gold drops. That means yen drops. That means the franc drops. Safe haven currencies typically move opposite of wherever gold DXY is moving, at least in this instance. So as you can see, obviously gold was affected the most, opposed to, let's say, the yen, which had just kind of, the volume just kind of started pushing towards the downside a little bit. Nothing crazy, nothing like this type of volume. But we should see this bounce back to some degree. This is a pretty big range. Let's go back to the economic calendar. Excuse me. We have upcoming news for the New Zealand dollar. It's Q2 GDP report. It's actually slightly worse, the consensus. At least they think it's going to be slightly worse. But that would just further our sentiment on NZ. What else we got here? The Australian dollar, unemployment change, unemployment rate seems to be pretty stable. Nothing too crazy. This shouldn't really shake the Australian dollar too much at all. Then we have in 7.5 hours from now, so at 2300, which is 11 p.m., we'll have the Bank of Japan interest rate decision. Supposed to be unchanged according to this consensus, but we'll see. And then also a monetary policy statement comes with it, followed by a conference a few hours later. It's actually 2.5 hours, 3 hours later? They'll have that conference. And then an hour and a half after the Japan conference, we're going to have a Swiss interest rate. Swiss National Bank interest rate, SNB. See, guys, here. And the monetary policy statement will follow. And then After that, 7 a.m. on Thursday morning. This is Eastern Standard Time, so 7 a.m. is New York time when I say it. So 7 a.m. Bank of England interest rate decision. Again, according to the consensus, nothing's supposed to change. So, I mean, we'll see if you guys want to follow along with that. Usually I just trade U.S. economy news, but I'll try and get up for this one at 7 a.m. We'll see. And I'll put out some reports in the Discord if I think it's significant enough. So that's pretty much it for the week. This has been a jam-packed week with interest rates, as you can see. We got the U.S. interest rate, Japan interest rate, Swiss interest rate, and England Bank of England interest rate. That's 3. That's a lot of economic activity for one singular week. So, guys, I'm always keeping an eye on fundamentals, and I calculate that in with my technical analysis. It's all there. There's factors that are considered. So definitely just jump into the Telegram, check it out, go over the analyses. We post updates, and we'll finish out this week strong. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I'm the one, bitch, I am the one, like Keanu Reeves, get it done, yeah, I get it.